Namaste and good morning to all of you. Let's do little prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Bhavaswaha, Tatsavitra Varenayam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, Asto Ma Sadgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamya. ओम सहनावतु सहनावनक्तु सवीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्वेषावहै ओम शांति 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 You are not alone. We say to comfort or shoulder someone else's pain. We want to relieve the suffocating feeling of heartache and isolation of others. Because when a person is picking up the pieces after a breakup or dealing with the loss of a loved one, the person feels like fallen into a dark hole with no way out. Loneliness can consume your entire life if you let it. It can overshadow your work. It can cloud your goals and leave you feeling aimless. It can definitely rob you of the way you feel the joy which you once got from the fun things like your passions, hobbies. But we got to remember the truth that you are not alone in feeling lonely. Loneliness is a universal problem. It can affect people of any gender, any age, or status. You cannot buy a cure for loneliness, nor can you pretend that it doesn't exist. It's like depression or anxiety. They do exist. You cannot ignore it. Feeling lonely is something you cannot control. In fact, loneliness is so powerful that it can cause you physical pain. It can make your muscles ache. You can even feel the knots in your stomach, and you cannot sleep. It's even one of the leading contributors to chronic diseases like Alzheimer's and heart disease. My point is that loneliness is a real and overwhelming problem that many people struggle with every day. But remember that you are not doomed to sit in this dark hole for the rest of your life. There is a way out. You can slowly but surely take control of your life. But the first step is to identify why you are there. Why do you feel lonely? What's keeping you down? for so long. So to help you face and overcome this paralyzing feeling, there are some reasons. Let's look into those. Number one is unstable friendships. Friendships are the most common triggers of loneliness. Many people try to define loneliness as the absence of friends. I don't have anybody. They think by having friends that they can never be lonely. But of course, that isn't the case. Isolation is when you don't have friends. Loneliness is when you aren't forming personal connections. These days, we have thousands of friends on the Facebook. Still, we can be lonely. You might know hundreds of people, but fail to really bond with any of them. You try and try to be social, yet no one understands you. You end up feeling empty and unhappy because none of your relationships go any deep, and then just a bit of small talk. So, what's the problem? Many people come at this issue the wrong way. When combating loneliness, quality matters way more than quantity. You might be feeling lonely because your friendships are weak and unstable. Either you haven't put the time into building them, or you have just chosen the wrong people. Everyone needs stable friendships. Because the friends make us feel heard, appreciated, and valuable. And you should eventually find these within yourself. But you have to start somewhere. If you are feeling lonely, take an honest look at the quality of your friendships. Stable friends respect each other. Are we respecting our friends? They provide support and build each other up. Are we doing it to our friends? They give each other space and understand that you are each your own individual person. Are we giving that kind of a space to our friends? On the other hand, unstable friends ignore and criticize you. Are we criticizing others? They might think the entire friendship revolves around them. Do we think that we are the center of attention all the time? So if you find yourself in an unstable friendship, set yourself free. Because some people hide behind toxic friends because they are worried they will never meet anyone else. They already feel lonely. So wouldn't that make things worse? Give yourself a chance to find friends that understand and appreciate you. And genuinely, you appreciate them too. There are many kind and considerate people out there. The second reason for loneliness is that we don't understand what ambivert is. Loneliness isn't always triggered by the people in your life. Sometimes that emptiness is a product of who you are. When we think about the personality types, we tend to place people into one of the two categories, introverts and extroverts. Despite how diverse our personalities can be, we may make the mistake of treating it like a yes or a no question. Like, I'm an extrovert. No, I am introvert. Are you an extrovert? No, then you must be an introvert, right? The truth is to be an extroversion and introversion function more like a spectrum. If introversion sits at the far left, extroversion sits at the far right. 99% of the people actually fall somewhere in between. In other words, almost no one is 100% introvert or 100% extrovert. Even the most extrovert social butterflies enjoy sometimes to themselves. And the lonely person who likes to be alone occasionally likes having company. So most people are actually hybrids, and that is called the ambiverts. So what does all this have to do with loneliness? Well, many people characterize themselves incorrectly because they get hung up on one of these labels. If you're extremely extroverted, you can feel lonely even in a crowded room because the introvert inside you craves something deeper and more personal. It wants you to make more meaningful connections. You are catering towards only one side of your personality, and you are feeling lonely. So try diversifying your habits. Spend time doing things you wouldn't normally do. Remember, nobody can be defined by any select words labels like introvert or extrovert and ambivert. Give you a general idea of what you enjoy. Third reason sometimes we feel lonely is perfectionism. Some of the loneliest people spend their entire life chasing perfection. They claim they just like to do things right. Social perfectionists are often afraid to do anything unless they can do it flawlessly. They never meet new people because they are scared of rejection. They don't chase new opportunities because they are worried about failure. It's almost like saying that I will enter the water only when I become a seasoned swimmer. Some people mask their loneliness with jobs, hobbies, and pets. But that feeling of emptiness, loneliness may never go away. Regret is a feeling which goes hand in hand with the loneliness. And regret is, I wish I could have. Another reason for loneliness is high expectations. When you are trying to be friends with someone new, what do you expect from them? Do you expect them to make you laugh? Do you expect them to blow your mind with all the amazing things they have done? Or do you just want them to be fun and kind? You are lonely because you believe everyone has unreasonably high expectations more often than they are entirely in your head actually. This kind of a mental obstacle keeps you from making connections and filling that void in your life. These are called imaginary expectations. They can ruin our life. They definitely ruin our self-esteem also. We should not go through life feeling like that we are unworthy. So what do we do? Remember that you don't feel alone because you are alone. You feel alone because you aren't at peace with yourself. Because all those reasons, they point out to this fact that you aren't at peace with yourself. You feel alone because you don't love yourself. We have to learn how to love ourselves, accept ourselves. Sure, we need to improve here and there, but where we are, cultivate santosh. You feel alone because you have been conditioned to believe that you need another person to complete you. And you don't, you are complete by yourself. You feel alone because you are comparing yourself to others. And you don't have to. We are all unique. Sure, at the essence, we are all same, but at the personalities, we are unique. We have lived many, many lives. You feel alone because you have yet to realize there's a greater purpose for your life. When you recognize that there's a greater purpose, you will not feel alone. You feel alone because all you are thinking about is yourself. It's like a constantly me. Think about it. If your mission was to do good for others, just like our Guruji used to say, live for others. If you make that a mission to serve others, to love others, and give your best to everyone you encounter, it could be anybody. We are social beings, we meet people. If we give our best to everyone, there's no loneliness there. You feel connected. Loneliness can exist when your thoughts are 100% focused on yourself and what you don't have. Like you're constantly thinking that what is missing in my life? You feel lonely. You feel alone because you are not living the life you want to live. You are not living as you when you live a truly authentic life. The right people will show up. The right opportunities will show up. If you are following the life you want to live, digging deep into your purpose, you will be so lit up with passion. There won't be room for empty feelings of darkness or loneliness. Dr. Wayne Dyer once said, you cannot be lonely if you like the person you are alone with. Become that person. Spend more time alone and learn to love it. Learn to love it because you love the person you are becoming. Because this way, every day you are focused on your purpose, your mission in life. Every day you are chasing your dreams and living with passion in your heart. On a daily basis, there should be time spent for gratitude. Gratitude for what we have. Because if we keep on focusing on what we don't have, sure, we'll dig deeper into that black hole. But if we are grateful for what we have, we'll feel like floating up. Be grateful for the people you have in your life. Be grateful the person you already are. Instead of focusing on what I'm not, be grateful for what you are. Because these feelings will replace the feelings of loneliness. These are the feelings of fullness. So if you feel alone, know that it's not other people you need. It is you who need to grow. Know it and commit to the work that is required to get to that place. Commit to the reading the scriptures. There are so many great books out there. Do the daily gratitude, whether it's in, you can write it or acknowledge it in your mind, what you are grateful for. Learn from good teachers. The best of the teachers, they never feel alone. Even when we are studying the scriptures, when we study Bhagavad Gita or any other scripture, don't we feel that great Rishi is sitting right there? There's no feeling of loneliness. When we go into the mandir, in the temple, don't we feel that presence of God there? How can you feel lonely when God is there? Our Creator, our Mother, Father, don't we sing that in our artis? Tvamev Mata cha Pita Tvamev. He's our Father, He's our Mother, He's our relative, our friend. How can we be lonely? So the daily gratitude, what we have learned from the teachers, we got to do the inner work. We got to do the meditation. We got to do all of it. Only then we will grow ourselves. When we grow ourselves, the right people will show up too. So the outer relationships will be there too. But first we got to develop this inner relationship, work on ourselves. Choice is ours. Do we want to just dig ourselves into the deeper hole, the black hole, or we want to fly out? So remember that. And the sooner we can get out of this black hole, the better it is. Because times do come in life. It could be according to our prarabdha. Their hard time is there. But we don't have to go into this dark hole. We can always rise up. So that's our real nature. So these are some of the reasons and some of the ways we can get out of loneliness. But today I would like you to ask some questions or give your opinions also about this, because this is a very personal issue for all of us. And again, there could be a degree of loneliness. It could be a deep loneliness, or it could be a little bit of loneliness. But no matter what it is a dark hole. And we don't want to fall into this hole. We have all the power to rise above this hole. Let's stop it here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti 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 Om.